This is Justin AMZN for Friday, August 2nd, 2019. We had an incredible move, a little bit lower, a gap that was right below Thursday's low or right at Thursday's low. And so anybody who was buying in here was trapped right at the open, had a nice little triangle here on the 5-minute. We pulled right back into 1841.30 and then just continued going down through it. Ended up just hovering right around 1815 the rest of the day. I mean, the first hour and a half was basically the move of the day, and then everything else was really just chopped. This looked like it was going to be bought up with like a double bottom here that came back and then just went sideways and didn't turn into a triple bottom. It just yeah, it even made a lower low on the day a little bit later, and some more bears were hopping on here, and then that was an opportunity for the bulls to get in and carry it back up. A little bit of a rally into the close, but it was really held right at 1825, and it's really just a big question of where we're going to go opening up on Monday. If we do something similar from where we gapped from here to here on Monday, that means gapping probably just below 1808, maybe get down to 1807, 1806. 1806 price, I kind of like that because I think that was this gap. Yeah, 1806.25. If we clear this gap, we'll technically have filled the gap, but we've made, that range. I mean, that range has had some little bit of opening before this one, I think, because this was like island reversal down here, and then I was talking about this one up here. So if we can get a gap down and then do some sort of chopping around down here and get a gap back up, we could do something similar to this where we have a bit of like an island reversal sort of feel down here again. I do think we'll make some lower lows and come down a little bit more. There's a chance we could pause right on this line, but we really haven't done that. If I zoom back out on this, maybe a little tighter. We've pulled down below these downtrend lines. I mean, even just to fit these, we're below a little bit. This one is the only one that really it held. We stayed well above it here, but we're not well above this one. So this one I'm a little less. Oh, there we go. This downtrend line I'm less confident. This was based on just the range, but we really didn't get a retest into this line. We held, like I said, we held above right here. So we don't necessarily have to hold this. The downtrend was working for this channel, and that may be it. The uptrend seems to be holding, periodically, showing some resistance and support. But this one, this was kind of looking back at where we went and give us a nice target here. But it didn't, I mean, it still worked on this one. I guess it's just kind of hard to say because we haven't pulled into the lows on it and bounced, as successfully as we have on the uptrends. So, this I would say is something that could be ignored in terms of levels. I don't know where long-term moving averages are on here. I don't have them turned on my chart. So if that's something you're looking for a bounce, there's a possibility there. Just going for horizontal levels, we're almost to a no man's zone in here, no man's land in here. And so, we could do some chopping around, or we can move quickly through it and back up. But if we come down and do like a second retest down to like our 18, what price is this? I've been down here in a while, I forgot the price. 1665.27. If we come all the way back down here, similar to something like this, where we have a bigger push down, and when these sell-offs get going, I mean, this day was, I think, a $94 day. This day was a $104 day. If we have a day that goes down, somewhere around 100 or 90 or 80, we're definitely looking into these values down in here from 1825. Definitely down to this. That's if we do that tomorrow. I'm not saying we have to. There's a lot of bears that are already in this. We'll just have to see kind of how things open up, and if it's got to get going pretty quickly to do that sort of move. And after we have kind of a bigger sell-off like that, or like these, or like this, or this, let's see, that was 170. The range was 170. There's been some big bearish days. When this one happens, looking at the momentum, we have more bearish momentum already here than we did back here when that candle formed. This one was much larger. This came after trapping some more bulls trying to get in. I'm just trying to compare size of candles to see, okay, where could we be in terms of a pullback? And I think this has the potential to keep going and coming down to this low or taking out the low of these candles. I think it has the potential to do that. Getting down there, going bearish from here, it just seems like, okay, it's got to bounce at some point. You got to retrace at some point. And, I think it already has, given you a couple of bullish candles and got some selling coming back in. I'm sorry, getting some buying coming back in with some lower wicks. Even the upper wicks show that there was buying, and then more selling came in. And so even for Friday, there was some buying that came in with the lower wick here. So, the buying here is the same as we had in this range. We ultimately made it lower. If we can just shop in here for a day or two and then go lower, I think that has more potential to move. But it's kind of hard right now to say it's going to stop and pause, at least, chop. Things seems like there's more momentum and things are already moving at this point. And so, we had a little bit of bounce, had a little bit of sideways action here. And then a lot of this was just waiting. And so we're moving bearish, we'll see if that continues into this week, or see if we can get some sort of retracement to come in and then really see, okay, is it going to continue lower? So, it may not bounce right away. It may continue lower first. So just have to see how things go on the 5 minutes, see how things set up, something like this, or the 3 minute. The 3 minute was actually an incredible open. Oops. Let's try that again. There we go. Really nice high wave candle that broke down. You could have had your trigger below and above, a stop above the high, and just carried that down for a few hours. And so that was even got a nice retest, inverted hammer here, and then a retest of the high wave candle here. You could have been buying puts into. So shows up better on the 3 minute, and then on the 5 minute, we'll take a look at options. If I can get this to zoom back in. Okay, so getting in like in the second 5 minute candle, bearish, and then there were kind of a couple bullish opportunities, but it would have just been buying off of 1825, and that didn't. I'm sorry, 1815. No, yeah, 1815. It just didn't continue. Even this one looking like, okay, that could be a retest or roll back down. Once it got above, and trapped any of the bears here, just riding that up a little bit more, could have worked too. So if we look at puts first, puts, here we go. Looking at puts first, the open candle happened, pulled back a little bit, could have been getting into this like 5x4, and then it would have been tough to hold on to it the whole time till it got through 1815. But if you had gotten in at $5 and exited even at 15, that would have been 10R. That would have been a great trade. It went all the way up to 1860. So you're probably not getting the high, but if you can get out at like 18, so going from 5 to 18, even if you had gotten in at 6 and stop at 4, or stop at that would have been $200 risk. But you do something to get in at 6 or 7 or 8, to stop $1 below, you're looking at potentially 10R on that kind of a trade, which is incredible to get. You even had another opportunity at $6 over here. That was 11:30. I think that was the first pop, right? Yeah, that was right in here. As it started to pop, all it did was retrace up to this candle's breakdown. And this was a really nice breakdown candle because you had two hammers that came in, looked like it was going to bounce, and just didn't really get a good Morningstar reversal going. Didn't even get a close above the bearish candle. And in this case, it's something to wait for. And that was a signal here. We didn't, we let's say the open, it's 1825.13. The close here was 1825.38. So shave top. So we did get a close above it here, and then we just completely collapsed from that point. But if you're looking to short it again at this level, which a number of people who shorted here were shorting it again here, and that was the play at this point with the puts to get back in at 6 and get out. It didn't quite move as far, but it did end up getting probably up to 9R if you got in at 6 and get out at 15. So that was a possibility. And then looking at calls, I mentioned the call into the close. Now the low here came down to 8 cents or $8. That had a rally up to about 2. And so that would have been an incredible absolute zero. You could have risked, your whole R or something less than that and gotten a really nice rally, but that would have been buying the low. Let's say we waited for the close right here and you're buying right at the close of the 225 candle. 225 would have been here. So you're buying right at the close of that candle, which was probably like 50 cents. Probably spent 50 cents on this one and it went up to $2. A little bit past $2. So it would have been nice to get out. Let's see, the high 260. So maybe you even got from 50 up to 2. That let's say you risked an R, and if you got $100, you got 2 of these, and it goes up to 250 here. Actually, both candles got up above 250. That would have been a really nice gain. Getting $2 per contract. So that's that's really getting a nice move. So other than that, some of these where we just consolidated around $2 or $3, getting into that price, but it's just a matter of looking at what's going on here. That would have been buying in this range, looking for it to bounce, not really waiting for a signal. Maybe this one where it's got a stair step that goes bullish, but you're probably not getting the risk reward. You're probably risking an R to gain an R, and this is going counter trends, and so maybe you're just scalping that, but that's fine as long as that's what you plan to do in this trade. The edge was definitely bearish today, and we'll see if that bearishness continues into this coming week. So hope this makes sense. Hope this helps. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.